This has Penguins fans fired up as a huge move brings franchise icon Marc Andre-Fleury back with the team to play one more game before he officially retires from the NHL. Welcome back, Marc Andre-Fleury, and welcome back to Penguins Digest. My name is Nikash Ganguli. We have a very, very fun video coming for you guys because Marc Andre-Fleury, I would say the best Penguins goaltender of all time, one of the best NHL goaltenders of all time, is coming back to play one preseason game with the team after signing an official professional tryout contract with the Penguins. But before we get into what's going on with Flower and what he's going to be doing for his last night in Pittsburgh, make sure you guys do, of course, subscribe to the channel. We are currently at 67.5 viewers who are not subscribed. And if you are one of those viewers who are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It's easy. We are bringing you all the Penguins news in the most digestible way, fashionable, here on Penguins Digest. So, that being said, we do have a lot to get into, a lot of fun to get into, some positive stuff coming out of Pittsburgh. I know it's been a little bit negative at times, given, Sidney Crosby trade rumors, Malkin trade rumors. This is the team wanting to go into a rebuild and not be that good. But I'm very happy to bring this video to you guys because Marc Andre-Fleury, as I said, he is back. So let's look at what came out from Pittsburgh today. Marc Andre-Fleury, this is from the Penguins Twitter account, signed to professional tryout contract. As you can see there, he has his he's wearing a robe, and he has some 3 mini Stanley Cups there because he won 3 cups with the Penguins. So very funny picture there, and there were some whispers about this potentially happening. His agent Alan Walsh was tweeting about it. There were some rumors about Fleury coming back for a game, and I think I really love this move from the Penguins. I think the fans need. I think you guys watching. I think you guys need some positivity coming to the team. There's been a lot of stuff going on, like I said earlier, and I think Marc Andre-Fleury is one of the best people in the league, one of the nice people from everything I've read. Just bring some positivity to the room, to the team, just all around. I think a great move for Kyle Dubas and co. And Dubas did have this statement about bringing Marc Andre-Fleury back. The entire Penguins organization is honored to welcome Marc Andre-Fleury back to the ice in Pittsburgh. I'm not going to read the whole statement, but if you want to pause the video, you can read the whole time. Marc means so much to the fans and etc. Obviously, Marc Andre-Fleury, it was obviously very sad to see him go. When obviously, when we see the photos, he did so much for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was important to them through many, many eras, and of course, he did end up winning that Stanley Cup. It was huge for them, and growing up, Marc Andre-Fleury was one of the most important goaltenders just in the league generally, outside of the Penguins. Elite. We all remember him for a lot of things, but I think that huge save to help them win the Cup back in, I believe, it was 2009, was so important just as the game ended there. We see that highlight all the time, and Marc Andre-Fleury also, won an Olympic gold with Canada, I believe, so just one of the best goaltenders ever. It's, it's sad to see his career coming to an end, and when he left in the expansion draft, I know a lot of Penguins fans were bitten, but obviously it made sense business-wise, but, I think we're having a good end to the story here. He's coming back, he's going to play some of the game, and let's talk about what else is going to happen on that day. So if we look here, from the article, Fleury will play parts of the exhibition game on Saturday, September 27th. I did actually check Ticketmaster for how much the tickets were. It has to be one of the most expensive preseason games I've ever seen. It was like $300 just to get in the building, and it makes sense. He's one of the most important players. Maybe he'll get a statue out there one day, going to be a Hall of Famer. But a super expensive ticket, and if any of you guys that are viewing the video are going to be able to go to that game, let me know in the comments. I'm sure it'll be super, super exciting. So, the Pittsburgh Penguins have signed goaltender Marc Andre-Fleury to professional tryout contract. It was announced today by President of Hockey Ops and GM Kyle Dubas. Fleury, 40 years old, will join the Penguins for practice at 12 p.m. on Friday, September 26th, before the game, obviously, before suiting up to play in parts of Pittsburgh's exhibition game against Columbus on Saturday, September 27th at 7 p.m. at the Penguins' home arena, PPG Paints. So, I guess he won't be playing the whole game. I think maybe they'll give him, the first period and the third period. That'd be really cool. Take him out for the second and let him start the game. Let him get announced, for all the fans as a starting goalie. And then let him play, let him get the end of the game as well. I think that would be very, very cool for him. That's how I think it's going to go. Let's pay some homage to Marc Andre-Fleury. Look at all the cool things he's done throughout his career. Obviously, he was a very, very, very good goaltender for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Looking at the save percentages there, super solid. I remember in his first year he came in, he was super young, first overall pick goalie, and he got rocked a little. But I think it was for the better. As you can see, he just slowly got better. 8.96. Then he had it 9.06. Then he had 9.21. 9.12. I don't know if I have to get into this if you were watching the Penguins during this era. Marc Andre-Fleury was a huge rock for the team. And he was super solid. Even in his last couple seasons with Pittsburgh when he kind of took a little bit of a backseat role to Matt Murray. 9.09. He even had a 9.21 and 9.20. There's really not much to say about Marc Andre-Fleury. You know, his name goes without saying. An elite goaltender for his time. You know, in an era where there was a lot of good goaltenders, he was one of the best. And then looking at his awards as well, 3x Stanley Cup winner. He won the Jennings, and then he won the Vezina with Vegas, so it was good for him to get that Vezina. I think he deserved it more than once, and then obviously an All-Star times as well. And then here he doesn't have his obviously his international play awards, which were some gold medals as well. Just an elite player. I don't know if you look at the nicknames there in the top left, I don't know who was calling him the dude. I've never heard that personally. Maybe I'm missing something, but Flower and Amaf were obviously or MAF were pretty common, but I don't remember the dude. Maybe I'm missing that, but let me know in the comments again. Obviously, just to tell you guys again how good Marc Andre-Fleury is. If we look at goaltender games played, he's obviously second only to Martin Brodeur. And he's also second in wins all time as well. I don't know what else to say, to be honest, about Marc Andre-Fleury. He's just one of the greatest goaltenders to ever do it. And I know if you were a huge Penguins fans, I think a lot of Penguins fans who are kind of my age or a little bit older, Marc Andre-Fleury was the starting goalie for good parts of a decade. So he was there forever. Obviously, Matt Murray took over at the end there, but I think he's one of the most loved Pittsburgh athletes of all time. One of the most loved NHL athletes. Always had a sense of humor. He was known for his pranks and stuff. So I think it's very cool to let him get this one last game, and I think he'll get in the Hall of Fame very, very quickly. And then some other interesting stuff about Marc Andre-Fleury. He has the most shootout wins in NHL history, which is kind of interesting. I'm just going through his stats preparing for the video, so that is super, super cool. And Marc Andre-Fleury, to me, one of the best goalies of my era watching hockey, one of the best goalies of all time. Very elite, very good. I think it's such a good move by Dubas and the whole franchise. It's going to be cool to see him with Sidney Crosby, Kris Letang, and Evgeni Malkin again. Guys that kind of ran Pittsburgh and ran the league for 15 years, it felt like. So I think it'll be nice for Penguins fans to see as they transition to a new era that will definitely not have any of these players in maybe 4 or 5 years. So that will be very, very cool to see because, as we know here, it's Marc Andre-Fleury's Hall of Fame case is huge. This is from an article from the Hockey News, of course, where it's hard to imagine the world without Marc Andre-Fleury since he was drafted by Pittsburgh back in 2003. He had one of the most prolific goaltending careers in NHL history with a Vezina Trophy and 3 Stanley Cups, and he found a way to win no matter where he plays. Obviously, after Pittsburgh and Vegas, he did end up in Chicago and then Minnesota. Chicago was definitely an interesting trip for him. Fleury is only one of 3 goaltenders to win 500 NHL games, with only Hall of Famer Martin Brodeur having more. He's also played the 4th most games all time. I think those facts should be able to get him the passage to the Hall. The 24-25 season was Fleury's last, but we're including him one last time until the season officially ends in June. Again, his career games played 1,051, 260 career goals against average, and a 912 career save percentage. Just an elite player, and I think at the end of the day, Penguins fans are going to be excited to see him back with Sidney Crosby. It's going to be great. I'm super excited for it. I'm going to be watching that game. And then Marc Andre-Fleury, he is defined by this photo. And 2 more of him holding that Stanley Cup where he brought the cup to Pittsburgh with the help of his teammates. So it's going to be awesome to see Marc Andre-Fleury back in Pittsburgh. And you know what I'll ask you guys before we get out of here? What is your favorite Marc Andre-Fleury Pittsburgh Penguins memory? Leave that in the comments. I'm curious. I want you guys to know. And I was very happy to make this video for you guys because it's just amazing news coming out from Pittsburgh. So that being said, I'm going to wrap the video here. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Make sure you guys do subscribe for all the latest Penguins news. We'll be covering everything throughout the regular season. And maybe if they make playoffs, we'll be here too for that in trades. But I'll let you guys know. And peace out and have a good one as always. Goodbye for now.